tired of tossing and turning all night? Do you wake up feeling like you've run a marathon instead of getting a restful 8 hours? You're not alone. So many of us struggle with sleep. But what if I told you that a few simple changes could completely transform your nights and, by extension, your days? Today, we're diving deep into the science and secrets of achieving incredible sleep. This isn't just about feeling less tired. It's about unlocking your full potential. Quality sleep is the foundation of good health, sharp focus, stable moods, and boundless energy. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll have a practical toolkit to reclaim your nights and wake up feeling refreshed, revitalized, and ready to conquer the world. Let's start with the absolute bedrock of good sleep, your circadian rhythm. Think of it as your body's internal 24-hour clock. It tells you when to feel sleepy and when to feel awake. The problem is, modern life is constantly trying to mess with this natural rhythm. The most powerful signal for your internal clock is light. Getting bright light exposure, especially sunlight, within the first hour of waking up is a game changer. It slams the brakes on melatonin production. That's your sleep hormone, and tells your brain, hey, it's daytime, time to be alert. A 10 to 30-minute walk outside in the morning is perfect. Even on a cloudy day, the outdoor light is far more powerful than your indoor lighting. This simple morning habit helps anchor your entire 24-hour cycle, making it easier to fall asleep when nighttime rolls around. Now let's talk about the flip side, darkness. Just as light wakes you up, darkness signals your brain to prepare for sleep. In the 2 to 3 hours before bed, we need to start dimming the lights. This is where most of us go wrong. We're glued to our phones, tablets, and TVs, all of which blast our eyes with blue light. This blue light is particularly disruptive because it tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime, suppressing the release of melatonin. So what's the solution? First, try to put away all screens at least an hour before bed. I know, it's tough. If you absolutely can't, use night mode on your devices, which shifts the screen color to a warmer, less disruptive tone. Also, consider dimming the lights in your home. Use lamps with warm-toned bulbs instead of bright overhead lights. Creating this digital sunset helps your body's melatonin production ramp up naturally, guiding you gently towards sleep. Let's move into your bedroom, your sleep sanctuary. The environment you sleep in plays a massive role in your sleep quality. 3 key factors to optimize are temperature, light, and sound. First, temperature. Your body's core temperature needs to drop slightly to initiate and maintain sleep. The ideal room temperature for sleeping is actually quite cool, around 18 degrees Celsius or 65 degrees Fahrenheit. It might feel a bit chilly at first, but experiment and find what works for you. A room that's too warm will almost certainly lead to a restless night. Next, light. Your bedroom should be as dark as a cave. I mean pitch black. Invest in some quality blackout curtains. Cover up any small electronic lights from chargers or alarm clocks with a piece of electrical tape. Even a tiny bit of light can disrupt your sleep cycle. Finally, sound. If you live in a noisy area, a sound machine or a fan can be your best friend. The consistent, gentle hum of white noise helps drown out sudden, jarring sounds like a car horn or a slamming door that can pull you out of deep sleep. What you put into your body throughout the day also has a huge impact on your night. Let's talk about 2 major culprits, caffeine and alcohol. Most people know that a cup of coffee right before bed is a bad idea, but many don't realize just how long caffeine stays in your system. It has a half-life of about 5 to 6 hours, which means if you have a coffee at 3 p.m., a quarter of that caffeine could still be active in your brain at 3 a.m. A good rule of thumb is to avoid all caffeine after 2 p.m., or even noon if you're particularly sensitive. This includes coffee, many teas, soda, and even some chocolate. Now, alcohol. Many people use alcohol as a sleep aid, thinking a glass of wine helps them relax and drift off. And while it might help you fall asleep faster, it wreaks havoc on your sleep quality later in the night. Alcohol suppresses REM sleep, which is crucial for memory consolidation and emotional regulation. It often leads to waking up in the middle of the night as your body processes it. So, while it feels like it helps, it's actually robbing you of the restorative sleep you need. Try to limit alcohol, especially in the hours leading up to bedtime. Beyond what to avoid, let's talk about what to do. Creating a relaxing wind-down routine is absolutely essential. This is a sequence of activities you do every single night in the hour before bed to signal to your body and mind that it's time to switch off. This routine is deeply personal, so find what works for you. It could be something like taking a warm bath or shower. The rise and subsequent fall in body temperature can help trigger sleepiness. Maybe it's 15 minutes of gentle stretching or some light yoga. Reading a physical book not on a screen is another fantastic option. Journaling can also be incredibly powerful. Write down anything that's on your mind, your worries for the next day, or things you're grateful for. This act of brain dumping helps clear your head so you're not lying in bed with racing thoughts. The key is consistency. By repeating these calming activities every night, you create a powerful conditioned response, making the transition to sleep smooth and automatic. Let's address a common problem: what to do when you're lying in bed, wide awake. The worst thing you can do is stay there, getting more and more frustrated. This trains your brain to associate your bed with anxiety and wakefulness, which is the exact opposite of what we want. The rule is simple. If you haven't fallen asleep after about 20 or 30 minutes, or if you wake up in the middle of the night and can't get back to sleep, get out of bed. Go to another room and do something quiet and relaxing under dim light. Read a boring book, listen to some calm music, or do some simple breathing exercises. Don't turn on your phone or start doing chores. The goal is to just relax until you start to feel sleepy again, and only then should you return to bed. This breaks the cycle of anxiety and helps reestablish your bed as a place for sleep and only sleep. It might feel counterintuitive to get up, but in the long run, it's one of the most effective strategies for overcoming insomnia. Exercise is another powerful tool in our sleep improvement arsenal, but timing is everything. Regular physical activity during the day can significantly improve your sleep quality at night. It helps reduce stress, anxiety, and can deepen your sleep stages. However, engaging in intense, vigorous exercise too close to bedtime can be counterproductive for some people. A hard workout raises your core body temperature and releases hormones like adrenaline, which are stimulating. This can make it difficult to wind down. So, try to get your more intense workouts done earlier in the day. Morning or afternoon is ideal. If you prefer to exercise in the evening, stick to more relaxing activities like a gentle walk, stretching, or restorative yoga. Everyone is different, so pay attention to how your body responds. For many, a calm evening stroll can be a wonderful part of a wind-down routine, but a high-intensity interval session is probably best saved for earlier. Let's also consider your diet and meal timing. A huge, heavy meal right before bed can lead to discomfort, indigestion, and acid reflux, all of which disrupt sleep. Your digestive system has to work overtime, which isn't conducive to a restful state. Ideally, you should aim to have your last big meal of the day at least 2 to 3 hours before you plan to go to sleep. If you get hungry later in the evening, a small, light snack is okay. Good options include a small banana, a handful of almonds, or a piece of whole wheat toast. These snacks contain nutrients like magnesium and tryptophan that can actually support sleep. On the other hand, going to bed overly hungry can also wake you up. The key is finding that comfortable balance where you're not too full and not starving. Also, stay hydrated throughout the day, but try to taper off your fluid intake in the last couple of hours before bed to avoid multiple bathroom trips during the night. Finally, let's talk about mindset. Stress and anxiety are the arch enemies of sleep. If you go to bed with a racing mind, your body remains in a state of high alert, making it nearly impossible to fall asleep. This is where mindfulness and relaxation techniques come in. Simple, deep breathing exercises can be incredibly effective. Inhale slowly through your nose for a count of 4. Hold your breath for a count of 7, and then exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 8. Repeating this 4-7-8 breathing pattern a few times can calm your nervous system dramatically. Progressive muscle relaxation is another great technique. Starting with your toes, tense a muscle group for a few seconds and then release it completely. Work your way up your entire body. This helps you become aware of where you're holding tension and allows you to consciously let it go. Remember, you can't force yourself to sleep. The goal is to create the right conditions for sleep to happen naturally. Let go of the pressure to fall asleep and just focus on resting and being comfortable. So there you have it, a comprehensive guide to unlocking better sleep. We've covered everything from managing your light exposure and optimizing your bedroom environment to the importance of a wind-down routine and managing stress. It might seem like a lot, but you don't have to implement everything at once. Start by picking 1 or 2 strategies that resonate with you the most. Maybe it's getting that morning sunlight or putting your phone away an hour before bed. Small, consistent changes can lead to massive improvements over time. Sleep is not a luxury. It's a biological necessity. Prioritizing your sleep is one of the best things you can do for your overall health and happiness. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found these tips helpful. Give them a try, and let me know in the comments which one made the biggest difference for you. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more content on living a healthier, happier life. Sleep well.